Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And wowza, is there this crazy energy in the air? It's intense. I meant to turn my ringer off. Sorry about that, everybody. Um, I'm going to go into talk about that and quite a bit more, though. I'm just while we're kind of waiting for everyone to fill up, for people to join the live. I'm going to actually share something with you, background of what I'm doing for this retreat. And so this is going to take about 10 minutes. So if you don't want to hear about it, that's okay. I'm doing a retreat here on the solstice, which is super duper exciting. The place that I am here in Arkansas is one of the most sacred lands. There's a lot of indigenous tribal stories, ancient stories about Manataka, the rainbow woman, the crystal cave, and there's just caves all around here, natural aquifers, and just this beautiful frequency. Just underneath the ground, a quartz crystal vein runs through this whole land. And what that means is it's the breathing body of the crystal factory of the planet. And so all these baby crystals get kind of popped up to the surface here. And so where we're going to go crystal mining and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to show you a quick video for those of you who want to see, where we're going and what that's going to be like. So I'm going to grab it real quick. I made this. It's like a slideshow kind of an idea, but this is just showing you guys some images of what this place is and what it's like. I'm going to I can't click the play button. There we go. It's covered up. Okay. So anyway, I just want to show you guys. Thank you all for coming. This is the party we're going to have, showing you exactly kind of where we are. We're in the Ouachita Sacred Mountains, Ouachita, excuse me. And there's a lot of different locations on the site that we're going to rent out per bed. And I'm just giving you guys an overview of our retreat real quick here. This is one of the buildings that we're looking at right now that is part of this 15-acre estate of like just forest and awesome rolling gentle hills and flat plains. It's beautiful right inside the Ouachita Sacred Mountains National Forest there. So this is some of the rooms in that first location. And you can rent those by the bed. There's shared kitchens, shared living rooms, and shared bathrooms. You don't have to stay in these. These are just an option. These are most of the photos that I have is just the indoors. Though really the whole point of going here to this location during this particular June solstice, there's a purpose for that. There's a reason that we're doing that, because the frequency that will be happening right then on that peak moment will be unlike any other. And so I'm going here, and you guys can come too. This is like one of the gathering areas. You'll see that there's a few like Zen ponds on the property. There's several cabin style dwellings on the property. And while you're here, you can positively charge your body with the crystal land, and so that's one of the cool perks. And you don't have to drive. The town that we'll be renting or getting hotels from will be like 11-minute drive from there, and so being here on the land and underneath you will be this crystal vein is part of like really the selling point. We're going to have a few people, a few vendors that are coming, but I'm really excited to have Layla Wind. Layla Wind's going to be here. She's going to do daily solstice yoga sessions. I'm going to do daily group meditations. I'm going to do daily card reading. I'm bringing my medicine cards. Consciously Erin's bringing her cards. And so we're going to have those cards, and she's also going to teach a workshop regarding in particular the Schumann Resonance and a few other points too. I'm sorry, I can't remember everything right now. But it's just super exciting. Also, we're having a bunch of people from the local area. Oh, I want to talk about this. The water here is plumbed in from clean local spring water, and you can go and collect some too. So if you want to bring some to where you're going, bring containers to fill it up with these ancient aquifers that fill it up. Fireside channeling sessions each night. I always go into channeling state. I know a lot of people are going to. It's going to be so much fun. the heart-centered individuals that are putting this together is so fascinating and so beautiful. Fireside sound healings every night, led by Layla Wynn, cacao ceremonies. We're going to have also this particular area, there is no light pollution. You're going to love the skies. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. Wow, I can see the indentation of that car right there. That's fascinating. And then there's some shared buildings. Like this is one of this is where we'll be eating. But there's also this really cool greenhouse that you'll see in a minute. That's really the place that people will go when they're going to be inside of a building. You know what I mean? These are really cool little tiny houses that you can rent by the bed. And, it just makes it convenient and also more affordable. The whole goal that we've been really looking toward is affordable for everybody. And the sunsets here are so beautiful. That's one example of the greenhouse from the outside that you'll see more of in a little bit. Anyway, so and this is cool too. The hot tub is inside of a gazebo, just in case that there's like weather or you kind of just don't want to be outside. There's the gazebo that you can have this, and there's all those windows and stuff that we can make it be a really comfortable place. There's a lot of healing that's going to be done on this at this particular gathering, and a lot of people want to know that they can just drive 11 minutes down the road. And I'm going to show a couple. You see on the top, it says hotels. It's going to show you a couple things like gas stations and stuff and let you know that there are options available, and we will be providing meals every evening. Layla Wind is just so heart-centered and bringing forward vegan, organic meals every night. And we're going to have snacks all day long throughout the day, I mean. And there's also the different kind of places to look around in this particular site, this location will be on. She has put a chapel of 100 angels as one of the examples on the quartz vein. So all that quartz crystal is like the real strong, big, giant one is bringing up all that awesome energy to that location. So she picked that spot, and there's also going to be quite a bit of here it is. Here is the greenhouse. She called it the greenhouse, the groovy greenhouse. And so it'll have both ends open. This is a place we can do meditations or yoga or whatever we feel like doing. If you want to be inside during the nighttime, I know I'm going to be by the fire a lot as well. And so it's going to be really cool to be part of this gathering of so many people. And this is the real selling point that I'm excited about is around here, there's a lot of crystals. So if you're a rock hound or a crystal enthusiast, bring an extra suitcase because we're taking you guys all over the place. But just in this local area, these are examples of just right around this area where these were found on the site or right next to it, where we'll be going. That's part of the package. You don't have to pay for that. We're going to take you down there to this main one right here and bring back all the crystals that you find and more. There's more than just quartz. You'll also find amethyst in the area as well as a lot of other varieties. Of course, a lot of rose quartz and things like that. And then also we're going to be going up the road from there to the only diamond mine that there is in this country. And that's included in the ticket. Normally you have to pay for these things, right? It's part of the package. You will be going over to the diamond mine and collecting diamond mines, and you can keep mines and you can keep what you find. It's one of those things that, you get to bring home. So again, the daily yoga sessions with the lovely Layla Wind, it's going to be like this solstice, on awareness, and we're going to be anchoring in all of the energy of the solstice. Daily group meditations, like I'm sure there's going to be more than one a day. Solstice night sacred group activation ceremony will be Saturday night and Sunday morning because the solstice begins Sunday morning. Consciously Erin joins us with her cards and wisdom to offer readings and classes. I believe she's going to do a workshop and offer readings. She's really an intuitive reader, so. And just highlighting once again that it runs on a quartz crystal vein runs under the surface of this entire property. And they only ever rent it to people for sacred purposes. The last people that were renting here were a group of monks and things like that. This isn't a venue that you can just rent if you want to have a baby shower or a wedding or something like that. It's reserved and preserved because it's sacredness here in the Ouachita Mountains National Forest. So please come and join us if you are interested. We have made this to be an option that is more affordable than most retreats. And so there's going to be a lot more than, it's highlighted here, but we have made it more affordable than most retreats. So it's $555 per person. And that includes everything we talked about, with the exception, if you want to stay on the site, then you're going to want to rent a bed, right? And those are listed in the email. You'll find the link to this in the description of this video, to this website, so you can initiate the process and reserve your ticket. We're only selling 33 tickets, and we're doing that in order to be sure that there can be a real intimacy to the gathering, right? That'll make it so everyone can really connect. Because previously in things that I've done, I felt like it's been like where we couldn't do that. There were people that would come all the way to see us and to participate in stuff, and it was just too many people, and so everybody's kind of like grouped up. And this way it's intimate and we can all hang out and do what we want to do. So thank you all for listening to this what is it, this offering that we're having available for you all. It is meant as a gift. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this to help, and because I know that's where I want to be during the solstice. So thank you all for joining me. I see Brittany's here. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and happy Sunday to you. I'm curious how many of you have been experiencing this communication breakdown palooza that we've been experiencing these past little while. It's been really fascinating to observe. And all throughout the whole of everything, like if I didn't know that other people were experiencing this, I would start to think there was something wrong with me. Is my communication not being understood? And everybody, like I don't know how many of you touch social media anymore, but there's been a few times where I've tapped in only to do something, to share something or whatever, and I've noticed there's a lot of energy of people miscommunicating and just all kinds of stuff. I'm having that happen in my personal life through not just my phone, but through like Telegram and all kinds of different ways. Anyway, Mercury retrograde, but this one in particular, right? This particular Mercury retrograde seems to have more miscommunication than I've previously noticed. Maybe I just wasn't affected by it as much, or it didn't seem to, but it's just been fascinating. Mercury ends retrograde on the 20th. So we have what is that? Like 5 days more. So that's not too bad. We got only 5 more days. That day is a big deal day too, guys. The 20th of this month. There's a lot happening on that day. Mercury leaves retrograde motion. That's the equinox. That's also what are the other things? There's like 5 things, and I've forgotten the others. There's also a conjunction of Moon and Venus, but that's not what I was thinking. That's really funny that I've forgotten the other parts. I know that there's a lot of, I think that we're also expecting, that's not written yet. So, but I do know that there's also going to be some other kind of energy that's going to be coming on that day, but there's things I've forgotten. See, there you go. Anyhow, also for those of you who want to participate, why wouldn't you? It's amazing. If you can, on the 21st, so next Saturday for the Northern Hemisphere, and it's next Sunday, so a week from yesterday, next Sunday for the Southern Hemisphere. For my local time, that will be at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. CDT. Everyone's taking 5 minutes. Just wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take 5 minutes and be in this loving place Well, and a lot of people are going to be chanting 4 specific words: peace, love, respect, and unity. Isn't that cool? Like, I mean, people in Egypt, people in Denmark, in Romania, in, Afghanistan, just all of the different places all over the world at that specific singular moment in time, whatever the time zone, everyone at that moment will be participating in this, establishing, bringing loving energy up and reestablishing balance of joy and of harmony. So it's going to be fun. I'm totally doing it. I got alarm set. Vanya says, the energy is absolutely insane. I know, right? I feel like I am not just coping, excuse me. Let me try this again. The energy is absolutely insane. I feel like I am not just coping, don't even understand it all anymore. Love to you, Mela, and all the beautiful souls here. And to you. Yes, it's been a really interesting little bit here, particularly today. I've noticed something shifted last night. Something kind of did some kind of weird. It's something. It's definitely something. We're moving through right now, like the densest part. What's really fun too is on the other side of that day where we're all going to be doing the love chant thing. Then there's a Neptune Kazemi, and a lot of people are talking about the 22nd as one of those big days. Neptune Kazemi, followed by 3 days after that, there's a Saturn Kazemi. So Kazemi, we love Kazemi. The word Kazemi is fun to say, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, it is really grounding as much as we can, being in a calm state, not pushing yourself as hard as you normally find yourself doing, allowing yourself to observe when the ears are ringing and how the octave is coming into your ear will help to evolve your experience. Grounding practices can also being, sure that your mineral content in your body, that you've allowed yourself the mineral salt that your body requires, the water, the clean water your body requires. I know a lot of us don't really have much of an appetite right now, and I've been feeling kind of zingy, but like also mellow, which means that for me inside my body, I feel like I'm just like, I'm cool with just chilling, but also like my brain is going zzz. I'm getting so much downloaded that in order to allow myself to absorb the new knowledge, it would cause me to feel like I was spinning and out of balance. So I'm not even doing that. I'm just letting it move through me, and I'm just witnessing with awe as it happens. And literally 20 minutes after a profound event, I vaguely recall it even happened because we're in something else, right? And that's kind of what's going on for a lot of people right now. That zinging quality is also, by the way, in part, we're reaching, connecting, touching a higher frequency node than we'd been able to reach previously. So I'm going to take this comment off so I can show a little easier, but I don't know why my hair always does that. It always wraps around my neck. Anyway, probably because there's like a curl. Anyway, so we've been vibrating at the frequency. Let's say we've been vibrating right here, and we have been gradually and slowly raising our vibration. Now, we don't raise our vibration straight up. We always have some type of turbulence is a good word, right? It's like a roller coaster. We're up and down, and that's normal. That's something that we always do, and we all do it. However, when we've raised our ability to see what's up here now, then what happens is as we're doing that, we are touching up here, but not on it, right? So that often also brings in like blurry vision kind of stuff. I know I'm having personally a lot of ocular stuff going on one side of the head. And then noticing what side of your body things are happening on also helps. Divine masculines on the right side of the body, divine feminines on the left side of the body, by the way that I've been understanding the energy. Before anybody told me to know a way, I've been interacting with spirit, and this is how I am shown it. I believe that this is different for some people, and that those people also acknowledge what side means what, because the universe always speaks in your language. If you'll notice that, just as an example, the writings of the well-known individual Jesus, when he was talking to carpenters, he used carpenter references. When he was talking to fishermen, he was using fishing references. Same concept. You're always going to have spirit talk to you the way you understand it. And that's why there's been like this Tower of Babel thing happening for a lot of everybody who are at some point or another coming into awareness of communication with spirit, because the answer of what that means for Bob is going to be different for Phil, right? Everyone is going to have their own subjective experience. What I get in a channeling state, about half of the information comes in as visuals, and these visuals are things that mean something to me, but that doesn't mean like an exclamation point on something on the side and an angle like a comic book means something to me. When spirit does that, that means this is something I'm supposed to point out to that person. And this is, there's different symbols that mean something for me, because spirit and I have created or developed some type of a language. Same thing happens for everybody. Anyway, I didn't mean to go so in depth about that. However, noticing the side of the body where it's happening really, really helps, because then you can see what they're telling you. Divine masculine aspects or qualities of what is to be a divine masculine, or being asked to be dressed or looked at, has to do with action. It has to do with protection and those types of things, so on and so forth. So anyhow, a lot of this ocular kind of stuff happens often also when we are noticing that things are fading in and out of our vision, blurry things, and eye doctors like, hey, your vision's better than it was the last time I saw you. What are you talking about? And so on top of that, we're also hearing a frequency that's higher than what we typically are used to receiving, that zing. And you know what, I totally lost my train of thought. That was spirit that reminded me what we're talking about. It's so much easier to rely on spirit. Brittany says, I've been struggling too. The first of this week was tough. Couldn't wake up, didn't want to get out of bed, and felt big waves of depression. Then it would pass. It's definitely a day by day thing. Brittany, I'm sending you love. I know what you're talking about. It's been very interesting how many people have canceled with me over the past little while. For those reasons, we're rescheduled, not canceled, where they just don't feel like it. They just can't, just so tired. And not always does it feel like depression, though I have noticed that it has felt kind of like melancholy. So I would say that for me, there's been moments of melancholy that had come in. It was like, wow, so I find it to be useful to lean into it. When I lean into it, then it doesn't stick around. I don't have to experience it anymore. Like it makes it so it's done and it moves on. And so for me, it was like, I would feel it and it'd be good, and I'd feel it and it'd be good, kind of thing like that, until it was done, at least so far. Now it's just, I noticed that there's been strings of irritability, really strong. People around me all seem to be like I feel like everyone's got their shoulders in their ears. You know what I mean? Like waiting for the other shoe to drop, kind of thing, or something like that. Very interesting kind of thing. So with that, I know that what we're doing right now is the densest part. Oh, and if you do get a chance, you may or may not be able to see the Northern meteor shower tonight. It's something that was happening last night. It's happening for a few days. It's peaking right now, depending on the clearness of your skies. So that's going to be kind of interesting too, because we're in the middle of the debris field of Three Eye Atlas. Once again, there's been some really fascinating and beautiful things that have been captured from this. Some individuals in Spain were able to see them in the daylight hours. So Anyway, yeah. So I'm sending you love, Brittany. This is, I think, a real common experience right now. Just feeling some of the dense energies. Oh yeah. Layla Wind is in the audience. Let go my ego. We're so excited to have this opportunity. Yeah, she says, "Wow, stunning! I truly can't wait for this. This is truly a medicinal retreat for the soul. We all need this rejuvenation and such a great opportunity for the high vibe community to get together." Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a lot of fun and so much going on, but at the same time it's like a mellow gathering. It's meant to be a retreat for your soul. There's that you don't we don't have to overwhelm the body and stuff. We're doing late start for most of these things, so people can enjoy the night sky and stuff like that, as well as let yourself get the rest that you require. I'm excited to see how people respond to sleeping on those quartz crystal, that the bedrock of the quartz crystals can be really cool. Good to see you, Ruthie Ruth. Hello, Mela and all. What a beautiful spot. Yeah, it is really gorgeous. It's going to be really, really neat to be able to do that. I'm super excited. I'm kind of, like, oh my gosh, it's going to take a really long time to get there, to that date, but it doesn't happen like that usually, right? It's Mother's Day in the UK. Well, happy Mother's Day, UK people. Happy Mother's Day. That's awesome. I didn't know that. It's fascinating. I don't know. That's one of those probably arrogant American kind of things. But to me, I think that everybody like celebrates those kind of days on the same day. So that's really fascinating. I heard that there's also a different one in Australia too. It's really cool. Sending love to all who have been going through it. This is why retreats like this and channels like this exist. Our ancient ways are calling us to be in sacred ceremony and communication often. Yeah. Oh. Hello, everyone. How are you all? She's talking to everybody in the audience. So yeah, yeah. It's been a really weird ride lately. I don't know about how everybody else is feeling exactly. I mean, I know that we did mention there is this really kind of dense feeling like Brittany's going through, and I know other people are kind of feeling some of these dense. The way I'm experiencing them, by the way, is it's like ancient unwept tears. Now we've actually mentioned that this we're wording it this way too previously, though it's the same. It's this like another layer of that, of like some of this really old stuff that just never got dealt with, like that just never wasn't addressed. And then there's this response too that some people are experiencing, the feral animal energy syndrome. It's just that some of the individuals that are being released, that the energies that are being released had been here for so long that there was this almost caged quality to their presence, like they couldn't go someplace else, and we're assisting in the opening the way for them to exit. And it's like they're waiting, they don't believe that the cage is really open. And a lot of times when this energy leaves, there's like a lashing out kind of sensation, like emotional experience with this energy as it flees. And so that pop, like that rah, that swell up, that burst of like fear, anxiety, even rage. I've heard some people report irritability is like really high up there on the scale, right? Like I want like that, but I meant like eyeball, deep, and like this irritability and like just real touchy of response stuff too, on top of the Mercury retrograde communication stuff. That is, I've been just sitting back watching some of the individuals the past week get really worked up over some things, because we're having all of these different parts happening at the same time. The emotions increased, intensifying, and not sure what that is for. Why is there all of a sudden that feeling? And I think that it alarms people, on some level. I think that it would alarm everybody. You'd feel, some kind of way about it, and not sure how to feel. Um, Feeling the other side. Hello, Diamond Heart 888. Since evening of March 9th, and yesterday was Unity Freedom Frequency. Yesterday was like one of those, you're like, oh, right, this is what we're talking about. We freaking made it. The code that has been coming in has been off the charts, off the freaking charts. How incredible the synchronicities have been coming in to show us that this is what's happening. Golden timelines are here. Loving all one. Hang in. Massive end purge. It's all worth it. Yeah, that end purge is that's what I was talking about. It feels like that feral animal energy. To describe what it feels like, this end purge. And a lot of people are finding that their ends are purging, right? There is a lot of purging of the body kind of stuff, the things that aren't aligned or assisting us, right? There's a lot of this purge that way too. Where our skin, the rashes, it's been really, really interesting to observe how many people are finding it to be immediately solved, by the way, by using Epsom salt, just a little bit of Epsom salt in warm water. You can even just have it on a sponge or a cloth and just kind of do a like kind of like exfoliating, I guess, like a sponge bath. But yeah, it's because what's happening is all this stuff's going out through our pores. The avenue, they call it a vehicle sweat. They call sweat a vehicle, and the vehicle carries out the things out of your bodies that aren't aligned with you. Some people use those other words to describe what we're talking about. And all of those different words add fear to those things. You know what I mean? All those different descriptors and diagnoses and things like that. And they do add different layers of fear. However, what we're basically just doing is we're leaving behind the things that aren't serving us, right? On a physical level, an emotional level, and an energetic level. There are other levels too, but these are the ones that we're most responsible for and that are affecting us the most, right? And so Epsom salt baths, different types of like flushes of the system, increased 333, increased water, clean water in the body, increased being aware of your mineral intake. I use pink Himalayan salt regularly for the mineral content. As well as Celtic salt's really highly revered. I don't use table salt or the iodized salt that has only 2 minerals in it and a whole bunch of whatever they had to do to make it not have very many minerals. Can't be that great, Anyway, so I don't use that kind of salt. Being aware of your mineral content through the use of salt, being at rest, and if you don't feel like eating, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give you medical advice, but I, as a friend, as a person in this experience, I'm skipping meals and I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? You know your own body, but I just don't have much of an appetite. I'm becoming aware that I'm kind of tired of feeling my body telling me it's hungry, or I'm not. See, I don't have an appetite, but that my stomach will growl. Like for a long time, after a while, it gets annoying, but for the most part, I'm just letting myself, and that helps. Letting yourself not have to is, fill in the blank, is one of the things that most of us it takes a while for us to learn how to do that. That kind of self-care, it's more difficult. We've been taught over the years that words like lazy and things like that are applied when you're doing self-care. That's not a bad thing. If you want to call that selfish, then that often is adding a word of density that makes you feel like you're not doing something that's ethical. How is it unethical to care for yourself? Can you believe we bought that load of baloney all these years? that it's unethical to take care of yourself, this temple, this really, And so giving yourself a little extra rest if you can, taking the time that your body requires to adjust from one thing to another as much as possible, giving yourself the love that you are due. Hello, Maya. Hello, everyone. Love to you all. Good to see you. 2 eagles. Diamond Heart, Charmony, 888. 2 eagles mating right across the street yesterday, and so much more. Feeling like we are in vacation at home. Love, love, love. There are challenges and some big ones, but all is healing faster. Aho, girlfriend. Totally feel you. Excuse me. Before this new frequency hit for us on March 9th evening, there was massive, brutal clearings. But the other side is truly awesome. Don't give up. So close. Thank you, sweetie. Love you. Good to see you, Jim. Welcome. Greetings. Mariette says, does anyone also have rashes on the scalp and on the face? I know that I have been having the stuff behind like in the scalp, but like in the hair, in the back. For the most part, that's been my thing. Is anyone else having these experiences? I also have been having purge from the face. I'm very happy that it doesn't leave like sores, but I am definitely having like a lot more coming, like acne like stuff. Not really acne, you know. Today is convergence back to one, building toward equilibrium 0 point on equinox. Be kind to self and take extra care. Yeah, this equinox is going to be super fascinating and a lot more on top of that. It's really fascinating. When my precious 14-month-old grandson stays with me, he will sit quietly and talk to himself, pauses as if he's listening, then chat away again. I swear it's light language, guys. I'm not kidding. Oh, I'm sure. Vegan Vixen, the kiddos that are born now are like really, really high frequency people. And most of them are also talking to ascended masters and people who have passed, beyond the veil kind of stuff that had previously been noticed, but not to this kind of intensity and ease. It's really cool that you have. I'm excited to hear what kind of activations he brings for you. Congratulations. All trauma pains are dissolving. Eons of stuff. That's right. There's so much hurt and stuff that needs to be felt. And as it does, it goes away. That's the thing, is when we let it be felt, when we let it move through us, instead of like, what is that? Why is that? And those types of things, like a lot of us we'll think it's premonition, or, like we're getting a message of warning or something like that, when it's actually just emotion that needs to move through and needs to go, right? My vertigo dizziness seems to be back. Yeah, Donna, it's been really like this weird, yeah, almost dizzy, almost like there's something there going on. Like I've had that happen a few times the past like 12 hours or so, where I'm just like noticing myself, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, did I just start to go that way? Something's going on with the equilibrium stuff. I've been having that experience also. And then there's a response to I've had really nasty sore patches around my eyes and ears. They're going now. Thank you for your answer, Vegan Vixen. The scalp and the face kind of stuff, the breakouts that people are having, having acne after puberty is kind of like, it kind of makes a lot of us annoyed. We're just like, wasn't there a promise? Pretty sure you promised that when I was done with this, I wouldn't have to do it anymore. Right? That's a part of puberty. that your skin would be fine after that. What happened to that? You know? But it's us purging for sure. And being irritable. Thank you, Barb in West Florida, for saying that. Yeah, the irritability and the tension that's felt around us is like, wow. It's really surprising how big it feels when you observe it. Knowing that you're not alone and also that it's got nothing to do with you really does help, though, doesn't it? It's so useful to be like, okay, I'm not, like, I'm not the root cause of all this stuff. Like, the common denominator through our own eyes is ourselves, right? So it's like, well, am I doing this? But a lot of people are experiencing it, in this weird, like, touchy irritability, kind of like just more. And so, like, honestly, I don't know if I even want to talk to anybody right now, because I just don't want anyone to misunderstand me, and I don't want to deal with the conflict energy that comes in and explaining what we really meant and all that. I'd just rather turn off my phone and see you guys next week, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I just don't even want to. Other people would seem to be doing well in that, but that's when I disappear. I'm like, okay, y'all figure it out. When you figure it out, I'll be over here having fun and you can come join me. When we're, if you want to be in the semantic land, then enjoy yourself. I don't go to semantic land. I'm an Aries. Right? A lot of scatterbrain energy, but I have strangely surrendered to it, and it clears. And all of a sudden, I feel liberated. Letting go is so key in being lighthearted. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here and play. And if y'all wanna come play, we don't have to have words in the sandbox. Like, we can sing, rhymes while we do double dutch, jump rope style stuff. But yeah, like, let's just play. Why do we have to talk about stuff? For no reason. I had a fabulous week before today. Oh, that was you were saying that you're suddenly feeling the vertigo and stuff like that. Is that right? Pretty sure. Yeah. And yeah, definitely for no reason. It just feels like, oh yeah, the irritability. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It feels like, wow, that just came out, hit me upside the head. Irritability. Thank you, Ruthie Ruth. Yeah, a lot of us feeling that. It's totally touchy right now. And then all of all these ingredients together, is a really fascinating thing to observe, like everyone that there's this absolute communication breakdown. Everyone's feeling itchy. They're feeling headachy, and then that irritability, kind of everybody's tension, their shoulders are in their ears, their jaws are clenched. And so it's just about like unclenching your own jaw, releasing your own shoulders away from your ears, being in your own breath. Oh, over here there's fun stuff to do. Let's do that. That's better. And then as you start to do that, other people go, oh, there's a sandbox. And they start to play too. And we start to laugh and forget why that mattered. The thing over there that made no sense anyway. Maya says, I don't really trust my logic right now. Yeah, I'm not laughing at you, okay, honey? I'm totally experiencing this. Yeah, there's something what I'm noticing the most is there are so many things that we've just been taught to believe, right? That have been like basic knowledge. And most of it's we found out that it's not true anyway. So then we make references based on these other things like this. Then I find myself stopping and saying, oh, well, maybe that's not true. So what is, trusting yourself is about learning to unlearn. That's okay to unlearn this conditioning, one part at a time. And the gaslighting nature that we all experienced, all of us, and from each other too, at different times perhaps, and not even realizing it, and throughout earlier parts of this incarnation and others as well. that it's been like a self-operating system, right? It's been, in autopilot. It's been perpetual. It's been a self-perpetuated prison, actually, that we've been experiencing and living in, and we're learning slowly to start to unacknowledge these old voices, the things from school kids and teachers and different parts of your life that earlier on in your life taught you that this is not okay or that's not okay, when then that's perfectly human. That's what it's about. That's what it is. When you coming here, that's who you are. That's truth. That's what reality really is. And slowly we were taught not to believe those things, and to not trust yourself is gaslighting, right? To question your sanity all the time. I don't know if that made sense. I'm gonna move on. Loving all one. Thank you, Mela and Maddie. Sending you love. I can understand I can understand that my own. Breathe deep and tune into the heart as much as possible. Yeah, that's it. I probably should come down to where some of these comments I haven't. Yes, rashes here in Oz. Hello, Elsa. Yes, rashes here in Oz on us and pets from fallout. Feels like burnt, dry skin. Yeah, the skin and weird stuff like this as a result of it. Like the stuff that's coming out of the pores. Like it does very much feel like it. Something that was already in the surface of the skin, which to me is something from the environment, and that we're purging, we're releasing, we're moving it out, right? So thank you for your validation. Truth prevails. 831. Fatigue is ridiculous. Blurry vision, spinal contortion, epiphanies that I'm not in the same reality anymore, or the same person I was a year ago or so. Awesome. You're in it. And it really does sound, I wonder how, I'm not sure where you are in your awakening. Truth prevails, though. What you seemed to me to have described is very much connected to the third Kundalini awakening. And I know that everybody seems to be aware of the first one, though there's more than one. A lot of these things that we do, not everybody has more than one dark night of the soul, except for an example, but a lot of people do, right? And so I find it to be useful to know what I'm doing, because then I can do it on purpose, right? It's easier to find the solution, or to allow myself to resolve the difficult part of it. Infrared Riding Hood, I can confirm we are at the end of a gross heavy purge. I can still feel it in my neck, but I feel so much better. I'm so happy to hear that you're feeling better, Infrared Riding Hood. This purge is still underway for a lot of people. You're just ahead of everybody. I did remember noticing you saying that you were purging it not too very long ago. Off balance, vertigo here, and the pets. Yep. Sounds like everybody's on the same. Wow. Thank you for that. Lego and Neko. Haha. You're so cute. I love you. Mandy says, hey, sweetie, I'm so happy to be here. Welcome. I'm happy that you're here. Brittany says, speaking of light language, my passed on sister showed up in my dream and spoke and mentioned the words light language to me. Any recommendations for learning this language? Books I could read. And there is the okay. So maybe there is somebody in the audience that can. This is something that I'm aware of regarding light language, is that when we speak it, what it is it's a language that there's not as much recognition on a logical level, and that's therefore able to bypass the logic, or some people use the word the ego when they refer to what I'm talking about when I say logic. It bypasses the ego or the logic and speaks directly to your soul. And so there is a knowing when you're speaking light language. There's some type of, you're aware in your body in an energetic way that this is language, and even knowing what it means, what the words, the specific words may have, what the meaning behind them may be. And it's, the thing is I don't know if any one person speaks one language when it comes to light language. You know what I mean? It's often, angelic or interdimensional kind of words that we may not have in our own vocabulary and be able to, put together in that way. So I'm not going to pretend that I know how to answer your question, but I want to say this. I really love that this happened to you, for you. And I do, Guardian has done light language videos in the past. That's what he was doing. That's like all the time when I found him in 2020. So if you go back to his channel at j.zoltan on YouTube, you'll find his channel, and he has a lot of earlier videos of that. There's a lot of people who do light language videos. If you just type it into the YouTube search engine, actually, you'll get so much coming through. Some will resonate with you and some won't. It's really beautiful. Yeah. I'm always singing. I am 57 going. I'm not going to sing it. I can't do it. It feels like it's too many syllables. Going on 23, totally unprepared. Yeah, dude. I do feel like we are definitely in a different, evolved way regarding these types of concepts, right? Yes, I hope you can at least zoom in. Oh, wait. I think that I missed a question. I hope to Zoom with y'all. If I can't make it, it's going to be goofy fun, I'm sure. Yeah, I actually don't know if there will. Oh, you're talking about the land, I'm assuming. I'm not sure if there's an option to broadcast while we're up there, because it's in the middle of the forest, and there's like not, though it's, there's, houses, and you're in a great position and stuff. I feel like there wasn't reception or something. I think there's one phone carrier that does have reception, and there's like no internet there, no Wi-Fi. So, if I can broadcast, I definitely will do something live, but that would be really cool, and to be able to connect with everybody. Cara, morning, Mela, Ed. Sending love to you all. Sending love back to you. It's good to see you. Yep, here when we play nice. Yeah. Yeah, over here, want to come play over here? Come on over. Yeah, come on over and play if you want to play. Otherwise, you stay over there and you can do your thing. No semantics allowed. Yeah, I like that. Semantics. That's interesting. Semantics, right? That's really fun. The feeling that something is stuck in the throat. I was getting that myself too. It felt like a tickle for a minute, but it did feel like there was a time where I ate popcorn, and you get the little. That's what it kind of felt like. I don't know about you, but maybe it might have been something bigger than that. But it seems to be resolved now. For this point, for the now that we're in. The earth is crying out with mercy for us to stop taking from her. There is this realization that's happening across the globe, the earth, is this awareness that we are returning to the mother, right? We've strayed off far enough, and now we're kind of coming back to honor earth, to honor Gaia, to honor Terra, the mother of earth, and by doing this, this is aligned also with the prophecy, the rainbow warriors, the rainbow tribe, right? The prophecy tells of a lot of different events that have already occurred. And the last part is the sun shall weep into the other ocean and Mu shall rise again. part of what happens right before that is that the people of every tribe, of every nation, of every walk of life, ethnics and races and skin colors and cultures are not held against somebody, but instead they're openly, lovingly accepted and united. And together, shoulder to shoulder, they commence to replant and to remember to honor the earth. And that's what the story tells. The returning of the rainbow warriors is that all this division between cultures and colors and things have caused a well, the greatest diversion of them all, you know. And it's caused contrary energy to be a standard, and has then, and through that process, resulted in the lack of awareness of the place that we exist here together as one on this beautiful planet as a family. And so allowing ourselves to re-honor, you know, the earth, we find each other, we find the others who are also honoring earth, honoring her, and we can then honor ourselves, right? Please take care, everyone. It's been nuts and still can be, but we are crossing over. Love you, Mela. Thank you. We'll connect soon. Looking forward to it. To join you in flow in April or after. April sounds amazing. I would love that. Yeah. I will get a hold of you. I was just laughing because I saw Elsa. She was in the audience when I was saying Kazimi's. Did she say Kundalini or Kazemi? Oh, you weren't here. Guess what? There's a Kazemi on the 22nd and a Kazemi on the 25th, Elsa. Well, I guess it's the 23rd and 26th for you. This is Neptune Kazemi on the 22nd and Saturn Kazemi on the 25th. You know, so it's going to be really fascinating that we're going to have that. But yeah, Kundalini Kazemi, huh? I am saying, yeah, I am burping out jellyfish nodes through my spine. Yeah, there's some stuff we're releasing quite a bit, right? You know, like and it's about saying goodbye to things too. Sometimes we got to say goodbye. Excuse me, to let it pass, you know, to leave. You made a great point, Mela, about trusting yourself. Getting to know yourself is how you can trust and even open your clairs. Exactly. We have so many clairs, and you all have them. You have them too. You know, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, you know, those kind of clairs. There's a whole bunch of them. And we have all of them. We were born with them. And we've over time learned to not observe them. And now we are beginning to, once again, allow ourselves to do it, to observe it. You know, it's going to be, and as we do, more and more of them are able to come forward and we are able to access them, you know. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Crystals are in us, but man takes crystals from earth to put in cell phones. I know. And that's one of the things about the land we're going to be on, is that the land that we're on and staying at, we're not going to be mining from that land. You know, that land is meant to remain sacred. There is a location. Yeah, but yeah, Lego, car, drumstick, chick, 4 legs. Yeah, Cara had told us. It was so cool. There was a chicken born, a baby chick that has 4 legs. And the other 2 legs kind of like hang out the back side of him, like he's got 2 butts. It was really funny and very fascinating. That's deep code for sure. Hello, everyone. Love and hugs to you, Amy. Yeah, that's really fascinating. Margaret Garden 1470. Good morning from Australia. Lots of dreams and nightmares. A lot of dreams. Weird, interesting, deep, just like lucid dreaming and like, yeah, prolific dreams. Just, you know, there's so much awareness that's being communicated to us all the time in astral, especially when we're in the sleep state. Most of us don't realize it, you know. And so when we are waking up, we're waking up tired, right? When we're waking up and wanting to take a nap from our waking up because it was so just exhausting to sleep. And at the same time, when it's time to go to bed, that's when the downloads are coming in so intensely that it's often kind of difficult to go to sleep after that, right? Suggestions, sun gaze techniques, assist light language. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, actually, well, the only time I can't remember who had asked earlier, so I hope that you're still listening. Um, I know it was a friend I see a lot. Uh, um, is that you'll also notice being outside really helps. I found that to be true. Like for me, it's the sun. It's the moon or the stars. I'm scrolling too quickly to see who it was that said that comment. So I hope you're listening. Going outside, being in the stars, being in the sun gazing, as Elsa is saying here. She would know. So that's thank you for so much for assisting with that. You know, allowing yourself sun gazing is really cool. Um, especially at sunrise and then sunset as the sun is setting, the rays of the setting sun actually have like a melodic quality to them. They sing. It's really weird. And and that's also something that's true for a lot of people. If you watch the sunrise or the sunset, you're often re re invigorated for the remainder of the day and the night. You'll also find that there's a drive, a desire, like an inside internal quieting and desire to sing, to harmonize or to tone when you're watching the setting or the rising sun. There's something really about that that just opens up the throat chakra stuff, right? Sun speak. Yeah. Thank you. Zuma not zooms. Oh, auto wrong. You are such a pain in my rear. I think that it's autocorrect. Oh, wrong. I gotcha. Zuma, not zooms. Gotcha. Yeah. Here we go. Margaret Garden, 1470. I speak light language, spontaneous, can't understand, but I feel um, light is mainly a release and heal with energy the area you're in. Yeah, it's like a self-healing, right? There's something that's meant for you at the moment that it's happening. And I've seen people that have like encouraged it and done it on purpose, like tried to teach their body to be okay with it because there's a logic thing that's kind of against it. You know what I mean? Like there's a contrary, oh, I don't know if I want to kind of thing going on with that. However, I do find for the most, I don't know, aligned light language, it just comes spontaneous. It comes on its own without intention, but allowing yourself to be open if that's something that wants to happen, right? Love the background. Thank you. Yeah, this is for the retreat. This is our icon or logo for the retreat. It's going to be really exciting, and that's going to be in June 19th, 20th, and 21st for anyone that wants to join us. And the link for that is in the description of this video. There's a little bit of an advertisement there, and when you click the to sign up for it, you're not reserving your ticket when you do that, and you're also not promising that you're going to buy a ticket. That's just for the welcome email to be generated so you can receive the welcome email. So if you've clicked that, you've not reserved a ticket until initial payment is initiated. You can, if you want. There are payment plans that are available to make it more affordable. One of them is 4 payments, and the other one's 2 payments, I think. I might be mistaken if Layla Wind is still in the audience. Maybe she can answer that question for us. But I do know that if you go to the website, you'll be able to see, or at least in the welcome email, And so once again, registering is not reserving your ticket, and it's not promising that you're going to buy a ticket either. What, in order to save your spot, to reserve your ticket, of the few tickets that we're selling, we're only selling 33 tickets. So there can be intimacy. If you want to reserve a ticket before they run out, you'd want to initiate the first payment, right? Which I can't, I'm not sure. I think it changed is over as we get closer and closer to the date. The initial payment, I'm pretty sure, is like $138.75 if you're doing it in 4 payments. So I feel of full ball and knots. It's time to learn true unwinding. Yeah, let yourself just play. Be in wherever you are at whatever time. Let this be, because you're not the banks, you're the river. Yeah, 2 Kazimis, right? And yeah, it's going to be an interesting corridor between the 22nd and the 25th, I'll tell you that. And right after that, and the day before on the 21st, for the northern hemisphere, the 22nd on the southern hemisphere, at 12 p.m. Central Time. So if you're watching this live, it would have started 4 hours and 6 minutes ago. Everybody on the planet are going to take 5 minutes to be in a place of manifesting, bringing the light through and the earth and into the earth and through us to stabilize, using the words, if you like. Many people will be chanting the 4 words: peace, love, respect, and unity. Those 4 words for 5 minutes, just for 5 minutes. If you're doing something else, you can take a break and do it, or you can be chanting those words while you're doing the dishes, right? Just if you're able to at that time, look up your local time zone and find the correct time against 12 p.m. CDT to your time zone, right? At that time, everyone's going to be choosing to evolve the planet, and it's going to be really epic. And letting ourselves do that right before the beginning of that Kazemi corridor on the 22nd. The 22nd, I feel like it's going to be kind of an interesting day, and that's a week from today. You know, use you for ease. Use you for ease. Use you for ease. Use you for ease. That's really fascinating. It's so cool to see it, words broken down like that, isn't it? The background is really cool. 11 crystals, 11s coming together. So excited for you all. Thank you, Cara. It's going to be really fun. And the fact that we get to go and collect crystals, all the crystals that you pick up, you're going to be able to bring home. One of the places we are going to go is, actually, I made a short out of it a couple of years ago because I was fascinated. I couldn't believe these crystals are just popping out of the ground. Like, they look like they're just, someone came through with a helicopter and just like dropped everybody. They're just everywhere. It's so fascinating. But I just noticed the time. So I need to get going. But I love all of you so much. And thank you so much for coming to today's show, for being who you are, and filling this container with love, with compassion, with unity and oneness, with family. I look forward to connecting with all of you each and every week. It's something that really fills me up, as well as I get to see how it assists you, in some way. And so thank you for being a part of this light family. Thank you for being one of the high vibe tribe members. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for everything that you've done. And please know that if you are wondering about more information regarding our gathering that we're doing, just reach out to me. You can send me an email, or there's also communication that can happen with Layla Wynn that is through that website. if any of you would, have any further questions. And I do plan to put, um, I just lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, I also plan to discuss this a little more thoroughly coming closer to the date. But we also are going to do our group Zoom meetings every Wednesday for at least the rest of this month. And then if people stop wanting to come to those group Zoom meetings and it doesn't seem like it's self-sustaining, then we might pull away from doing the Zoom groups for a while, because we're down to just I every person who comes is valuable and important. They are, though. It's something that I need to be aware of for the consideration of my time. That there's such a small number that are coming these days that I feel like I'm doing a live instead of a gathering, and so I'd much rather that time and that energy be used for a live, if that's what it's going to be like. If it's not a conversation but people just listening to me talk, then I'll probably stop doing that group. And so just kind of letting you all know that. And that doesn't mean that it can't still keep happening. I just won't be the one running it. I've seen a lot of Zoom groups pick up and start happening, over the years that I've been doing this for 5 years. And, it's really cool to always be able to be that person that people can rely on. At the same time, I can't always be that person every single week. You know what I mean? And sometimes it ends up being one of those situations where there's just so few people who are there and it's just me talking, that I would rather go live and help more people, at one time. You know what I mean? And so the private nature of those Zoom meetings can still happen with y'all. I've seen the UK group, the Australian group. I've seen you guys in our Telegram group create meetings. You just need somebody to make a link. That's all you got to do. And then people come, and so I just want to say, for all of you who are part of this and that have helped to continue these meetings to occur, just want to say thank you. I see you. I see how you are active and participating in the Telegram group. And if you are one of those people who aren't a member of the Telegram group, it's free. And you're more than welcome to click the link in the description of this video. You'll have to scroll down near the bottom, and you can find that there's a link there. It'll take you to our Telegram group that's free. I think there's like 500 people on that group, and it's just a beautiful place. So once again, I say thank you to everybody, and I'm sending you all so much love. Aho blessings.